Technical field and background. Clear patent writing examples. Welcome! In this micro lesson, we'll sharpen your technical field and background sections. The first pages a patent reviewer reads. These paragraphs form the first impression. They show you understand the domain and can describe it clearly. They also set the scope and context of your invention, guiding how claims will later be interpreted. When these sections are precise and neutral, they reduce objections like lack of clarity, unsupported claims, or misinterpreted scope. Think of them as your map and legend. If the map is clean, the journey through your application is smoother for everyone. Your technical field should be one concise sentence that locates the invention in its discipline. Aim for neutral, non-promotional language. No revolutionary, no value judgments. Be broad enough to cover reasonable variations of your claims, but not vague to the point of saying nothing. A good test. Could another professional instantly know the general area, sub-area, and context? If yes, you're on track. Keep it dry and factual. This is not a sales pitch. This line guides examiners and future readers to the right drawer in the technical filing cabinet. A reliable opener is, the present disclosure relates to, follow with the field, subfield, and application. For example, the present disclosure relates to data security, particularly to key management systems for distributed cloud services. That single line places your work precisely. Avoid brand names, proprietary jargon, and claims language like configured to or improves. You're naming the neighborhood, not selling the house. If needed, add a second sentence for context, but keep both lines neutral, accurate, and roomy enough for foreseeable embodiments. The background explains the problem space, not your solution. Start by describing the environment where the problem exists. Then summarize conventional approaches that practitioners typically use. Finally, identify limitations and unmet needs. Cost, reliability, latency, compliance, scalability, whatever truly constrains users. This section sets up the why behind your invention without previewing the how. By mapping the landscape and its gaps, you help examiners understand relevance and avoid misunderstandings about scope or purpose. Use neutral verbs and adjectives such as, quote, conventional, typical, common, or well-known. These avoid hype and keep the focus on facts. Cite examples of industry standards, reference architectures, or common methods to anchor your statements. For example, typical systems follow standard X or rely on method Y. Avoid arguing novelty or superiority here. No, unlike prior systems, or the present approach is better. Save comparisons and advantages for later sections, so the background remains an unbiased snapshot of the status quo. Start broad, then narrow. Data backup systems are commonly used to protect enterprise information. Conventional approaches rely on periodic snapshots and off-site replication. Get specific with 2 to 3 pain points. These methods often incur long recovery times, high storage overhead, and limited consistency across regions. End by signaling need, not the fix. Accordingly, there remains a need for techniques that address these constraints in large, distributed environments. This structure gives context, highlights real problems, and invites your solution, without disclosing it or making claims in the background. No marketing. Avoid claims of advantage, improvement, or superiority in these sections. Don't disclose your inventive step or key mechanisms in the background. Keep it solution agnostic. Avoid overly narrow scope, too many specifics that box you in, and jargon-heavy language that only insiders understand. Don't cite confidential or proprietary details. Steer clear of brand names, product codes, or promise-like phrasing such as configured to reduce costs. Keep it neutral, accurate, and general enough to cover foreseeable embodiments. Technical field, 1 to 3 sentences, neutral, and properly scoped to field, subfield, and application. Background. Describe the problem space, summarize prior art or common practice, and note gaps without hinting at your solution. Keep references generic, standards, typical methods, and verify accuracy with citations in your records. Next steps. Draft your technical field sentence. Write a 3-paragraph background using the broad to narrow structure, then review for neutrality, scope, and clarity. Read it aloud. If it sounds like marketing, rewrite.